Hychika 40 volt max cordless battery operated chainsaw. Works pretty good. Whoops, the chain came off. I must need to adjust that. Good thing it's really easy to adjust. So I'll take the batteries off and adjust that chain. This is an apple tree, and apple wood's pretty hard, guys. I forgot to grab my tape measure, but that's probably a 10 to 11 inch diameter log that I just cut there. I'm gonna cut this tree up, and then we're gonna find some other stuff to cut and see how long the battery lasts and just how good it cuts overall. Now, Hychika did send me this chainsaw for testing and review, so we're gonna put it through the paces today and see how good it does. But first, we're gonna jump into the studio. I'll show you all the specs and features of this chainsaw. Then we'll come back out here, finish cutting this tree up, find some other stuff to cut up, and just see how it works overall throughout the tests. If you guys are interested in picking one of these up after you watch this video and think it's right for you, I'll leave an affiliate link down below so you can check out the specs and features and also the current pricing of it. All right, guys, so now let's take a look at some of the specs and features of the Hychika chainsaw and what it comes with out of the box. So first of all, of course, it comes with the 40 volt max 14-inch chainsaw. It does have a chainsaw blade cover, which is nice. However, one thing I noticed about this cover, it seems a little bit big on the chain and it doesn't really stay on too good. It would have been nice if they would have made this smaller to fit that a little bit better and maybe make it lock on somehow so it doesn't fall off. You get two 4 amp hour batteries, so you got 8 amp hours of power, which is really nice. So you also get a 2 amp hour charger. You can only charge one battery at a time, and if the batteries are completely dead, it'll probably take around 2 hours per battery. Now, they do sell an additional double charger that you could purchase, or you could just buy another single charger or buy another cheap tool with a charger, and then you could charge both batteries at the same time, because they do make a lot of other cordless power tools that are very reasonably priced. And then it comes with bar and chain oil. Now, this bar and chain oil was a little bit thin, a lot thinner than what I'm used to. I'm used to a thicker oil, so I'm not quite sure what kind of oil this is. It does have the cap here on the side for filling up the oil, and it is self-oiling. There's no buttons you gotta push or anything. It does self-oil the chain. So the first thing I wanna mention about this chainsaw is, even though it comes with 2 batteries, if you put one battery in, it does not come on, and you cannot use the chainsaw with just one battery. You do have to have both batteries in. I really wish they would have made this thing work with just one battery. Even if it was at half the speed or half the power, it would have been nice to still be able to use just one battery. That way, if one of your batteries were dead and you only had one or something, that you could still at least use the chainsaw a little bit. So with 2 batteries in here, it's really nice. The weight is balanced really well. It is pretty hefty. We'll weigh it in a little bit to see how heavy it is. And I do like that each battery does have a switch to tell you the capacity of each battery. There's a button on top to turn the chainsaw on, and then you push the safety switch in on the side and pull the trigger, and that's what turns it on. Now, in the manual, it states that the green is low speed and the red is high speed. However, I feel like that's opposite. So here's high speed on green, and here's red, which is low speed, and you can hear that the red is lower. So that's a little bit contradictory on the Amazon page and on their website, where it says red is actually high speed. I think it's reversed, so maybe that's something they could fix in their manual later on. Now, if you set this saw down and walk away for, say, 60 seconds and come back, the saw will turn off automatically after 60 seconds, and that's when that light will go off. You can't physically turn it off by pushing the button. It either goes red or green, so it either times out after 60 seconds, or you can remove a battery and it turns it off. So low speed on this saw, when it's on red, is 6,200 RPM, or about 40 feet per second that the chain spins. And when it's on high, on green, it's 8,000 revolutions per minute, or 52.5 feet per second that the chain spins. You also have a safety chain stop here. So if this is pushed forward, the chainsaw will not turn on. And if it is on and that gets pushed forward, it does stop the chain immediately. So that's a nice safety feature there. All right, so one really awesome feature that I really like about this chainsaw is that you can adjust this chain with no tools. If the chain gets loose when you're out cutting, all you have to do, you loosen this center wheel here, and then you tighten this outer ring up clockwise, and you can see there how it tightens the chain up. You just twist this center to tighten it up a little bit again, and then your chain is tight. So very quick and easy on the adjustments there. I really like that you don't need any tools to adjust that. And it's also really easy to assemble. Now there is a review on Amazon that I seen the video of the guy cutting and said it doesn't cut at all. If you watch the video closely at the beginning, I think he may have put the chain on backwards. There is a little diagram here that shows you exactly how the chain should be when it goes on. So pay attention to that whenever you initially install this bar and the chain on the saw to make sure you don't put it on backwards. So if you need to replace the chain on this saw, you can get a replacement chain on both the Hychika website for around currently $30 or on Amazon for about $20. And it takes a 1/4 inch 0.043 76 link chain. And one last thing I want to show you guys is the weight of the saw with the batteries. And it is weighing in about 11.3 pounds with the 2 batteries installed. Without the batteries, it's about 8.3. All right, so I've done a lot of cutting with this old Black & Decker cordless saw, and I've been really limited a lot of times on how big the blade was and how big of a piece of lumber that I could cut with it, what size logs. You could see here how much bigger this 14-inch is than this 8-inch. So I'm really excited to take this out and see how it performs and see how it cuts. So let's get outside and check this thing out. Guys, so this does have a toolless design here where you do not need tools to install or adjust the blade. And when you put the blade on, make sure you follow the diagram on the bar there itself, as I mentioned earlier in the video. And guys, I'm no professional at all when it comes to trimming trees or using chainsaws, so make sure you follow the user manual and wear your safety gear and just follow all the directions. Don't follow my cutting techniques as advice. All right guys, so this has low speed and high speed. This is low speed. And green is high speed. And this is probably about 6 inches or so, 6, maybe 7 inches, and that's solid there. Huh, made easy work of that. And I think the oiler's working. Yeah, I can see a little bit of oil coming off the chain, so the oiler's definitely working. And so far, let's check the battery levels. It looks like I got 2 full bars, and it looks like the big bar is still lit up just a little bit, but it looks like it's down about 1 bar. Let's cut this one again. All right guys, so I'm about out of daylight right now. I'm gonna continue this tomorrow when I get home from work, finish cutting up this tree. So we're gonna see how long we can get out of this battery. It'd be awesome if I could finish cutting this whole thing up on 1 charge. So I'm not gonna charge it tonight, but we will continue this. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right guys, here we are back day 2. This is actually a few days later. It's a lot colder out today, guys, and that snowstorm, I think it's called Izzy's, coming in about 2 hours. So hopefully we can get this tree cut up, see how many more cuts we can get out of this, see if we can finish this up and see what else we can get cut before that storm comes or before I run out of time. And like I said, I am no professional at all here, so do not follow what I do. Almost. Perfect. All right, guys, pretty easy work of that. Let's see if we can cut through this bigger stump now, see how long it takes. Nice. And that's probably a good 12 inches there. 12 inches at least. Well, actually, it's almost the whole 14 inches of the saw that way. Probably about 12 this way. Alright guys, I think I'm down to about 1 bar now on the batteries, and I think it may have just stopped on its own. Let's see if we can finish this one off. right guys, so it's pretty much shutting off on its own. There we go. So pretty big there. All right guys, so there you have it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about how this saw performed. I feel like it did pretty good, and really it exceeded my expectations with battery life and how many cuts it made with me cutting up this tree. So you can see there in the end that the battery drained fairly quickly, but that was at the very end of this test after all those cuts. So you're not going to be able to go out and cut multiple trees up and go logging with this saw, but it's going to be nice for a lot of people around the house if a tree branch falls off, if a small tree falls down or you need to trim it up, or if you're out on the bike trail and have this thing strapped to your bicycle, you could clean up the trails. Or when I'm on my side-by-side, I plan on taking this with me and I can clear out the trails if there's a tree crossing the trail or something. I think it would be good for something like that. So if I have any issues with this in the future, guys, I'll put that down in the comments or the description of this video to keep you guys updated. But so far, I'm really impressed with it, especially since the price of it right now is about $120 with the coupon code that they offer. And for it to come with two 4 amp hour batteries, I think it's a pretty good deal in my opinion. So like I said, let me know what you guys think. I'll leave a link down below if you guys are interested in picking one of these up or seeing more about it or the current pricing. And don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and leave a thumbs up if you liked it, and check me out on Instagram where you can see some previews of upcoming videos. If you guys enjoyed this, I hope you subscribe, and I will see you guys around on the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.